So I was reading about this billionaire, right? Starts his day with a barefoot jog on the beach,
Okay, I'm already jealous.
right? And this is every morning in Mauritius. It got me thinking about the 5 a.m. club again.
Ah, Robin Sharma. Not your typical early bird gets the worm book, is it?
No, not at all. It's kind of a wild story, actually. You've got this struggling entrepreneur, a skeptical
And
artist.
they're being mentored by a billionaire who learned everything from, wait for it, a homeless man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's almost like Sharma used this out there story to sneak in a whole system for transforming your life.
And it all starts before the sun's even up.
Right. 5 a.m. Now, I know what you're thinking because I thought the same thing. No way.
But there's a method to the madness, right? There's a reason why that hour is so crucial.
It's like that saying, own your morning, elevate your life. But what does that actually look like?
Well, Sharma argues that those quiet hours before everyone else is awake, that's your secret weapon. Time to get ahead of the game.
So it's more than just being a morning person.
Oh, absolutely. It's about intention. It's about having a plan. And he gives you that plan, actually. He calls it the 20-20-20 formula.
Okay, break that down for me. What are these 20-minute blocks all about?
So the first 20 minutes, that's all about movement. Intense exercise. Think HIIT, a run, anything that gets your heart rate up.
Okay, so what's the science behind that? Why is that so important?
Well, that kind of intense physical activity, it actually triggers a surge of dopamine.
Dopamine, the motivation molecule.
Exactly. So you're not just waking up your body, you're basically giving your brain a jump start for the day.
Like a shot of espresso,
Mhm.
but way healthier.
Exactly. And I used to be the queen of hitting snooze, but then I started incorporating even just 15 minutes of yoga in the morning. And it's incredible the difference it
It
made.
really does make you wonder, like, what else are we capable of if we just, like, shifted these little things?
Right. Now, the second 20 minutes, this one is all about going inward. Reflection, introspection, journaling, meditation, even just sitting quietly with a cup of tea.
Okay, so if the first 20 minutes is like energize the body, this is more like calm the mind.
Yes, you got it. It's about cultivating stillness before the chaos of the day sets in. And again, this isn't just some random thing Sharma came up with. This actually helps boost serotonin.
Okay, that makes sense. Serotonin, a feel-good hormone.
Exactly. So you're setting yourself up for a more positive and resilient mindset throughout the day.
Wow, I'm actually kind of mad at myself that I haven't tried this yet.
Well, don't worry. We've still got the last 20 minutes to cover. And this one, this is all about feeding your mind. Reading, learning, listening to podcasts like this one, right?
This is where that billionaire's beach jog comes in.
Well, not the jog itself, but the idea that you're dedicating this time to personal growth, to expanding your knowledge and horizons.
I love that he calls them mantras, right? These little sayings the billionaire has.
He does. I mean, some of them are a little out there, but they're memorable.
Like, to create magic in the world, own the magic within yourself.
Yeah.
Sounds cheesy when you say it like that, but it's actually really profound.
It is, and that's what I love about this book, is like he takes these really solid personal development concepts, but makes them fun, engaging, memorable.
It's true. And I think one of the most interesting concepts he introduces is this idea of the four interior empires.
Yes. Instead of just thinking of ourselves as one person, he's saying we're a whole empire.
Right. What does that even mean, though? The four interior empires.
So he breaks it down like this. You've got your mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set.
Okay, so instead of departments, we've got empires, kind of like in this analogy. But what do those actually mean?
So think of your mindset like the CEO of your life. Making decisions, setting the vision. Your heart set is all about emotional intelligence, your relationships with others.
Okay, I'm starting to see it now. So health set, that one's a little more obvious, taking care of your physical health.
Right. Exactly. Sleep, nutrition, exercise, all of that falls under the health set. And then finally, your soul set. This is all about your purpose, your passions, what makes you feel truly alive.
It's like we're a company, but instead of departments, we have these four empires, and they all have to work together.
Exactly. And Sharma's point is, if one of those empires is neglected, it throws everything off balance. You can't be truly successful in one area of your life if you're neglecting another.
Oh, 100%. Like that idea, you're only as strong as your weakest link.
Right. And he illustrates this with a story from the book, actually. There's this entrepreneur, super sharp, but she's about to lose her entire company because of this hostile takeover attempt.
Oh, wow. High stakes. So what's the issue?
Well, she's brilliant, but she's totally neglected her health set. Running on fumes, basically.
Caffeine and stress. Classic recipe for burnout.
Exactly. And she realizes in order to save her company, she needs to start by saving herself, getting back to a good place, mentally and physically.
So she starts implementing the 5 a.m. club principles.
Exactly. Prioritizing her well-being, getting back in touch with her passions, that's the soul set coming back online, and it gives her this incredible strength to fight back.
Wow. Okay, so I'm sold. I want to be part of the 5 a.m. club. But realistically, waking up at that hour, fitting in the exercise, the reflection, the learning,
It's a lot.
it is. How do you make it stick?
Habit installation, and Sharma's got a system for this too. It's called the 66-day minimum.
Okay, I've heard of this. So it's not about willpower. It's
Mhm.
about, like, rewiring your brain.
Exactly. He says it takes a minimum of 66 days to turn a new behavior into a true habit, and he breaks it down into 3 phases: destruction, installation, and integration. And what's fascinating is there's actual neuroscience behind each of these phases, like literally what's happening in your brain.
Okay, walk me through these phases.
So the destruction phase is about, well, destroying those old neural pathways. That's when you're going to feel the most resistance, that voice in your head saying, this is too hard, go back to bed.
Oh, the messy middle of habit change. The struggle is real.
Yes. Messy because your brain is fighting against the change. But
Yeah.
if you push through that, you can literally rewire those neural pathways.
So it's not just about forcing yourself to do something, it's actually changing your brain.
Yes. And that takes us to the installation phase. That's where you're consistently repeating the new behavior, strengthening those new connections. Sharma's big thing is make it tiny, start small.
One step at a time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you've got the integration phase. This is where it all comes together. The new habit becomes almost automatic.
It's like learning to ride a bike. At first it's scary, you're wobbling. Then all of a sudden you're off.
Perfect analogy. That's the power of habit. It becomes part of who you are.
That's incredible. Okay, so we can change our habits, but what about our mindset? You could have the best routine, but if you're full of self-doubt.
That's so important, and Sharma addresses that head on. He talks about this concept of learned victimhood. Basically, we internalize a victim mentality, often from early experiences in our lives.
So if you grow up hearing things like, we can't afford that, or you're not good enough, that becomes part of your belief system.
And then it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. But the empowering thing is, we have the power to rewrite those stories.
Right. Like he says, the self-fulfilling prophecy, what you believe, you create.
Exactly. So we have to become aware of those limiting beliefs and challenge them.
It makes me think of the artist in the book. He's incredibly talented, but he keeps sabotaging himself because of these insecurities.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. And it's only when he starts confronting those inner demons that he's truly able to share his gifts with the world.
It's almost like the real transformation is happening on the inside.
Exactly. It's about becoming the best version of ourselves, inside and out. And Sharma talks about this shift from focusing on material possessions to seeking out what he calls miraculous experiences.
I love that. Collecting moments, not things.
Yes. And it doesn't have to be extravagant, right? It's about finding those moments of awe and gratitude in everyday life.
Like watching a sunrise or having a deep conversation with a friend.
Exactly. It's about being present, appreciating the little things.
It's about really changing your definition of success, from what you own to how you live.
Exactly. And this actually ties into one of the powerful concepts from the book, I think, The Heroic Human Circle. It comes in towards the end, but it really stayed with me.
Okay, the heroic human circle. What is it?
So, Sharma's argument is that real fulfillment, it doesn't just come from personal achievement. It's about using your gifts, your talents, to have a positive impact on the world around you.
So it's not just about self-improvement. It's about how that self-improvement goes outward.
Yes, exactly. It's about asking yourself, how can I use my skills, my time, my energy to make a difference?
It's like that quote, as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same.
Oh, I love that. And Sharma actually lays out a framework for this. He calls it cultivating the 4 virtues of the heroic human circle: courage, compassion, integrity, and service.
Wow. Those are some pretty solid pillars to build your life on, right? And it makes you think, even the small choices we make each day, they can contribute to something much bigger.
Absolutely. It's about realizing we all have the potential to make a difference. Now, speaking of frameworks, there's one more we have to talk about before we wrap things up. The 90-91 rule.
Oh, yes. This is a productivity game changer. For those who haven't heard of it, break it down for us.
Okay, so the idea is this. You dedicate the first 90 minutes of your workday to your single most important task. And I mean, Single.
No email, no checking your phone, just laser focus.
Exactly. You create what Sharma calls a tight bubble of total focus, and you pour all your energy into that one task that will move the needle the most.
Like he says, an addiction to distraction is the end of your creative production.
Right, and it's so true. We're constantly bombarded with distractions these days. But the 90-91 rule is about taking back control of your attention.
It sounds almost too simple, but I've actually tried it. And it's amazing how much more you get done when you work like that.
Right. It's about working smarter, not harder. And building on that idea of strategic focus, Sharma also talks about the 60-10 method.
Okay, this one's about balancing work with rest, right?
Exactly, because our brains aren't designed to just go, go, go without a break. So the 60-10 method, it's exactly what it sounds like. 60 minutes of focused work followed by a 10-minute break.
So you're basically hitting the reset button every hour.
Exactly. And it's not about just scrolling through social media for those 10 minutes. It's about doing something that actually recharges you.
Going for a walk, listening to music, even just closing your eyes and taking some deep breaths.
Yes. It's about giving your mind a chance to reset so you can come back to your work feeling refreshed and refocused.
That's that idea of oscillation we were talking about earlier.
Exactly. And that concept, it's not just for productivity, it's for life. Even the billionaire in the book, he's super disciplined, but he also makes time for rest and rejuvenation.
It's like they say, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. You have to take care of yourself in order to show up fully in your life.
So much good stuff here. We've covered a lot. The 5 a.m. hour, habit formation, the power of our mindset, this idea of the heroic human circle.
The 4 interior empires, the 20-20-20 formula, the 90-91 rule, the 60-10 method. We really went deep on the 5 a.m. club, didn't we?
We did. And I have to say, I'm feeling pretty inspired right now. I don't know about you, but I think I might actually set my alarm a little earlier tomorrow.
I might join you. You know, there's one more quote from the book that I think is the perfect note to end on. All change is hard at first, messy in the middle, but gorgeous at the end.
It's so true, though. Change is a process. But it's in those messy middle moments that the real growth happens. Well, on that note, thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the 5 a.m. Club.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
And to everyone listening, keep reaching for that gorgeous end. We'll see you in the next episode.